2 losses away. Finally back at Fortress Rodney. Surely it couldn't be 3 on the bounce. This is the true story of when Crawley came to play. Welcome to all new Look Back in Amber, the official Newport City radio podcast from us, Newport County fans. From exclusive interviews to interesting inside insights, since 2010, we've been the best place to be for all things audio, and we're giving you even more in 24. Coming up in the next 45 minutes, I'm Lamsie. I'm asking all the big questions.
I'm Stephen. I've got your commentary highlights, and I'd like to look at why are we conceding from set pieces.
I'm Luke. I'll have your post-match press conference with a rather dejected Graham Coughlin, and I'd like to ask, are we limping towards the end of the season?
Never miss eggs. Follow us wherever you find this podcast. Listen live at 2 p.m. on a Sunday, 7 p.m. on a Wednesday, and after all the League 2 home matches, just like this one.
Right here, right now.
Newport City Radio.
So, it began at 2 p.m. in the compy with Stephen and Luke on DJ duties in the Bisley.
Indeed it did.
Okay, Luke, you were to say something then? You just went...
Yeah, I just want to say it's so nice to have you guys back.
Oh,
me and Kieran was fantastic as ever, but it's not the same Look Back in Amber without you two in the studio, so it is nice to have you back. It's an Easter miracle, it's an Easter resurrection.
I've really missed it. It's really weird. I've been looking forward to this all day. So, yeah, it's really, really good being back. And thanks to all the listeners for being patient. Well, we've been doing a bit of other stuff, haven't we? It's been a busy couple of weeks for us. But we're back now, and that's the main thing. And hopefully with you all the way to the end of the season. Okay, let's talk Crawley. Stephen, their recent form.
Crawley, they lost their last match against Doncaster, ending a run of 4 without a defeat, where they won 3, drew 1. Crawley won the last 2 away matches against Tranmere and Harrogate. Crawley had not won 3 consecutive away matches since December 2020 and January 2021. Crawley won the last meeting 4-1 in September against Newport and were unbeaten in 5 previous meetings against Newport, 1-3, drew 2. Crawley had not lost at Rodney Parade since April 2021, and Crawley were the team that beat Newport the last time that they lost 3 consecutive matches in October 2022.
And Friday's Lightning couldn't strike twice. Well, it's Thursday, wasn't it, the Lightning?
Yeah.
Best find out Newport County's lineup. Before we do that, because obviously there's a massive injury list. Luke, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, Stephen, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm okay. Do you think we could get called up any second?
We might do.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I have
ball playing midfielder, you know, I could do a job.
Yeah, I'm right back in the changing room.
Yeah. Left back off the pitch.
Yeah. The old tried and tested jokes. There you go. Always fresh content on Look Back in Amber. Look, who was left?
Not many.
And they line up.
Yeah, we lined up in a bit of a strange back 4 with Nick Townsend in goal, Matty Baker at right back, Scott Bennett, Carl Jameson as centre backs, and Matty Bondswell on the left, Alan Wildig, Harry Charsley and Bryn Moss as a midfield 3 with Will Evans up front, Zanzala and Seb Palmer holding up front.
Okay, there is someone missing off your list. Chris Chappell.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're not all back yet. Not
back.
every single one of us, but you stepped up to the mic. Should we have a listen what happened?
Let's do it, man.
Good afternoon and welcome to Rodney Parade for the Sky Bet League 2 fixture between Newport County and Crawley Town. After a mixed March, winning 2 and losing 4, Newport County will be hoping for an amazing April as the season enters its final run. With 5 matches left after this, Graham Coughlin will be hoping for a strong end of the season. And as we celebrate Easter and the resurrection of Jesus, it's fitting that county striker Omar Bogle makes his return to the bench today after nearly 4 months away. 30 seconds gone and we've got a corner already for the visitors. Plenty of players huddled around in the middle of the areas. Played short, Gordon. Cross comes in and it's aimed towards Conroy and it's a goal already. Dion Conroy back in the starting lineup today for his first goal of the season. Has given the visitors an early lead and creepy Crawley already started to prove a bit of a nightmare for Newport County this early in the game. Well, what a disastrous start for Newport County. Cuts in field in zone half. Oh, lovely ball over the top. Falling for Will Evans here. Can he get it under control? He can. He's onside. Will Evans. Oh, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. Then he had Zanzala and Palm Holden running in there. Maybe he could have waited for a bit of support, but what an opportunity for Newport County to equalise there. Brilliant ball over the top by Palm Holden, finding Will Evans. But his shot was weak and straight out the keeper. Lawless picks it up, played it back to Darcy. Cuts inside, he's looking to shoot on his right foot. Here he is, he's going to shoot, and it's a goal! 26 minutes gone. Crawley Town double their lead. Darcy, with his 5th goal of the season, was allowed to run, cut in on his right foot. You give a player of that quality, they're going to punish you. Graham Coughlin won't be happy with the defending for that goal. So it's now Newport County 0, Crawley Town 2. Here's Darcy, the goal scorer, looking for the run of Gordon, but it's cut out well by Bonswell, but Darcy's picked it up again. He's allowed to run into the penalty area, and he shoots, and it's off the post! Well. Newport County got out of jail there. Again, they allowed Darcy to run at them with the ball. Again, he's allowed to have a shot, but this time, back off the post. So this is his 21st appearance of the season, but Newport County forced to defend here. Oh, and it's a goal! Free kick, aimed into the box. And at the back post was Maguire, who pokes it home. Lawrence Maguire, his 3rd goal of the season. And yet again, Newport County slack defending has cost them a goal. Gordon, the ball's into the area. Kelly, and it's shot by Campbell, and it's gone in. So it's Newport County 0, Crawley Town 4. Adam Campbell, 7th goal of the season there, just to put the nail in the coffin for Newport County, and they equal their defeat to Stockport this time last year on Easter Monday. Good move down the right hand side, ball into the box, falls to Campbell, who got an assist last time they played and 2 goals, and he's now got another goal against Newport County, so that's 3 against Newport for the season for him. So there you go, full time. Ronnie Parade here. Newport County concede 4 against Crawley for the 2nd time this season after losing 4-1 in September last year. So that means Newport County have still not won in last 6 meetings against Crawley, drawn 2 and lost 4. Disappointment year for Newport County at Ronnie Parade. It ends Newport County 0, Crawley Town 4.
Thank you, Stephen, for that very excellent commentary.
Yeah, you know.
How many Easter eggs were consumed during that?
None.
Because you sounded very happy considering what happened. Just inquiring minds need to know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So walk me through it.
Are we not going to hear from Graham Coughlin first?
Oh, should we hear from Graham Coughlin first?
Well, I was just about to say, should we hear from Graham Coughlin?
Let's hear from Graham Coughlin. Are we sure we want to hear from Graham Coughlin?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the Newport County manager, Graham Coughlin.
That was pure. That was really pure. That was probably one of my worst days at the football club. It's times like this, you actually, I look in the mirror, I question myself. Why did I open us up with so many strikers? Why have we so many injuries? Why can we not win a game? Why have we just fallen off the face of the cliff? Why have we gone so far backwards over the last few weeks? So, look, at the end of the day, it's down to me. I'm the manager of the football club, so I'll have to take the hits. I'll have to take the blame, and it's not easy. And it was a very, very lonely job at this moment in time, to be quite honest with you.
Injuries, 3 more today with Bennett, Payne and Aaron Wildy. Do you know yet what the diagnosis is? I know it's hamstrings, but how long they're likely to be missing for?
Well, there's only 4 weeks left in the season. A normal hamstring injury is 4 to 6 weeks. So I hope we can get 1 or 2 of them back. Minor miracle in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But look, it's not looking good. You know, hamstring injuries normally take 4 to 6 weeks. That they are minor hamstring injuries, and there's only 4 weeks left in the season. So I don't know. Is the honest answer at this moment in time. We'll obviously have to send them for scans. We'll obviously have to have a look at them in 24 hours, see where we are, and assess from there. But Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's disappointing and tough, to be honest.
It's mental almost as much as physical, though, this season, it seems as well. You say looking in the eyes, that must be it for some players. They want to keep going, but...
Yeah, I agree with that. You can see... look, I actually thought we had a really good, strong first half. Out with the goal that we conceded. We created a number of chances. You just maybe needed the ball to go in the back of the net. You need to take a chance. Just give us a lift. Give us some sort of lift. But that's all we were short of today, was to put a finish. I thought our play, our connections, some of our play in the first half was really, really good. But as the game wore on, you could physically and mentally see us waning. You could see us dipping. You could see us going deeper. You could see a little bit of maybe confidence went. Picked up a couple of injuries. You could just see it, as we say, from the first question, going from bad to worse as the game went on in stages. But I thought some of the connections, some of the passing, some of the play in the first half was really strong. So look, we obviously had to change shape as well because of our personnel and because of our numbers. And I thought the boys went out and apart from the first 30 seconds, the first minute, you can't be defending a corner from the first action, first kick of the game. You can't. So we give ourselves a mountain to climb. A centre half doesn't even have to jump. He puts it in with his foot. So there's questions to be asked there as well. But after that, I thought we grew into the game and we give a real half an hour of decent football, and we created the more chances. And the top teams don't let teams off the hook. The top teams, we talk about playoffs, we talk about promotion teams. Them teams go and punish. Them teams go and find a way. Them teams go and score goals, and we've just come up short.
Newport County manager Graham Coughlin there. I watched that on YouTube on the Newport County channel yesterday, and it didn't sound that happy. For some reason, radio was just made that sound a lot better than what I actually saw the other day.
Yeah, he looked dejected, and he looked almost a broken man, to be honest.
I think he's always done. He's got the tone absolutely spot on and right, and he's trying to take the fans with him. He's trying to protect the players, and we'll probably talk about this a lot more throughout today's show. But I think he's very good at managing that situation. And it's a very, very difficult situation. Okay, walk me through it, Stephen.
Well, where do I start? Talking about starts, Newport got off to the worst possible start, conceding from a corner after, I think it was 36 seconds. And I think that kind of set the tone, really, for the rest of the match, to be honest. Newport did kind of begin to play themselves back into the game. As Graham said there, for about 20 minutes they were competing. Had a couple of chances for Evans, as you heard in the commentaries, and Zala. But I think what was letting them down was their decision-making in the final third, I think. A bit better decision-making, and they might have been able to, snatch a goal. And then Crawley kind of hit them with a sucker punch. They allowed Darcy, a real danger man for them, too much space. He just ran at them unchallenged and took full advantage. And as I said, he scored the goal, and then they almost did it again straight away for Cerula, who's also got quite a lot of assists for them this season, letting him have too much space on the left-hand side. Yeah, they were just standing off players, and I just thought Graham probably won't be happy with this, as I said, as a commentary. I think Newport edged it in terms of the chances at the end of the first half, but Crawley looked more dangerous and were more clinical, I think. And second half didn't really improve. Crawley, once they got that third goal, they were kind of happy to pass it around at the back and then pick Newport off at will on attacks. They could choose their attacks, They didn't really have that much urgency, but then they didn't need to. They were 3-0 up. So and then Newport made some changes, but they conceded straight away after making those changes. Payne went off, so they were down to 10 men, which made it even more difficult for them.
Wildick pulled his hamstring.
And I think it just killed the atmosphere. Like I said, after the third goal, it just completely killed the atmosphere. And it's just really disappointing afternoon. I mean, all right, the record against Crawley is not very good, but I just think really, really bad day at the office.
Yeah, just not what we did need at a time that we didn't need it, really, isn't it? I think I know, Luke, you spoke about it on the last couple of episodes as well. Like looking for that playoff place, and maybe it has got, but maybe it's just one job too far this season.
Yeah, and in that post-match interview, I don't think I included it there, Graham said that it's the first time he's actually gone on record and said he wanted to get playoffs.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. He said he's let people down and things like that. I just want to say, Graham, I know you're probably not listening to this, but I'm going to say it anyway. At the start of the season, we've said it many times on this podcast, the aim was, we've all said, if we survive by 1 point... we've just published our financial reportings for the year dating, finishing about 12 months ago, and we nearly posted another £1 million loss.
Is it the 22-23 season?
Yeah, that would be the one.
So this is Rowbury going into Cochrane, isn't it, that era?
Yeah, and to go from that in terms of lowest budget, we know it is the lowest budget in the EFL. It's got to be. For fans to chip in and do... You had a little girl walking laps around the pitch to raise some money at the start of the season, You don't get that at other clubs. It was dire. And we've utilised the low market as well as we could have. Sepp Hammer-Holden's a brilliant signing. Lewis Payne, I think, will go on to be a good player. Matty Bondswell looks like he's a decent player.
Yeah, Baker as well.
Baker coming back. Yeah, I like the look of him. Wales under-21 captain. And yeah, we've said the aim for the season is to stay up, even if it's by a point, even if it's on goal difference on the last day. As long as we stay up, we're happy.
And it's really interesting because we've been... Everybody's been really realistic over it, I think.
Yeah.
And then as this gone on, we've got our hopes a little bit high, typical Newport, isn't it? Typical football. And nay, we've learned that the manager had ambitions. So I think I heard him say in previous press conferences that he wanted to better last year's points tally.
That's still possible. That's still doable. It's only 2 points. It's only 2 points.
I'm surprised that he actually thought that playoffs would be a potential, but that's what he's got in for. He's the leader.
Yeah.
So he's got to lead it as much as he can. What a job.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of what he said, and he sort of said, he was keeping the conversation away, but inside he was hoping that they might do it. But then he also said deep down he probably thought that they would fall short due to the injuries and they haven't got the biggest squad. So, but like you said, you've got to aim, haven't you? And if you do start to get yourself in that position, then why not look up the table? I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it? And but yeah, I think Graham Cochrane, he's done a phenomenal job. I think, and like you said, Lamsie, I just love his honesty, and I think he's really endeared himself to this club in that he's made us in a better position now than when he took over. Yeah. And I think that's probably the biggest compliment I can give him. He's managed all this financial talk and the injury crisis, and he's managed it with aplomb, and I just think, yeah, we're lucky to have him.
And bear in mind, when he was in with us just before the start of the season, I think it was becoming very apparent that he wasn't in possession of all the facts that he should have been when taking on the role as Newport County manager. And I think, given that, for him to actually stay in the job and get us this far. So we know, like the reports just come out, the financial reports come out, it's not great reading, but we now know that there's a new owner of Newport County.
There is, and as we've said, it's the season where Rowbury lost his job along with Carl Sorrant. How much compensation did they have to pay the two of them? How much of that is in the financial report? Obviously, it doesn't go into too much detail, but I'd imagine...
I think they said very briefly what you just read out to us while we were just listening to the commentary and stuff. I think the overheads were a lot more as well. I think that's been stated in the report, saying that, because obviously we're all facing a cost of living problem at the moment, and that's businesses as well as individuals. So I can imagine that's been a factor into it as well. And again, we still got in mind that's still very close to coming out of the COVID situation as well. So we won't go into the report because we need to understand it a bit more. We're not financial, so we'll probably leave the report there. Let's go back to the situation then. So, and I think the report almost is completely out of date now because we have got Hugh Jenkins. I'm not suggesting he's going to throw millions of pounds in, but we've got that, and
we kind of knew about this at the start of the season, didn't we? So,
and I think we're certainly to see a lot more endeavours with the commercial side of the business as well, which is what you need. Football needs to sell sponsorship and advertising, as does Newport City Radio. So it's in order to survive. So that's it. But obviously, this is the beautiful thing about doing Look Back in Amber. We've had a couple of hours, more than 24 hours, to chill, get our thoughts, read a bit online, and this is the beauty of it. I think if we wanted to do a storming phone-in show, then after that match would have been it, because I'm sure a lot of County fans would have had a lot to say. And it just feels in the last 24 hours, even the hardened Cochran out people, which I don't think there's many of them.
No, I didn't really see.
so.
There was a ripple, wasn't there?
I think fans are understanding, obviously, three huge fans here in the studio, understanding of the situation at the moment. I'll come on to it in my talking point about kind of the injuries again.
Yeah.
But I think fans understand that he hasn't got the players available to play his first choice system. He hasn't got the players available to play probably the philosophy he wants to play.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be the interesting thing, because I want to ask you both, is there any doubt in your minds that Graham Cochran is not the right man for the job?
Any doubt in my mind? None whatsoever.
No.
He's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because I think what he's managed to achieve with the, like we've just spoke about, the lowest budget, the bare minimum, but he's, when he, just before Christmas, when he was having to name, 3 or 4 youngsters on the bench every game, and he's he's managed the team through that, and he's got us through. We've had. Let's not forget that we went on a really good cup run, and we gave Manchester United a pretty good game, to be honest, even though the result wasn't what we wanted. We've had good cup runs this season. We've played Brentford, we've played. Yeah, so, and I think, where we are in the table is we're nowhere near relegation.
No. I think we're mathematically safe.
Yeah, so, and I mean,
mathematically, I'm right in thinking that playoffs aren't out of the equation.
7 points.
Well, yeah, I think
so
it's
mathematically,
five games left.
Mathematically, no, but Crawley do have a game in hand over us as well as Walsall, and it's 6 or 7 teams fighting for one spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it ain't over till it's over, kids.
It's not.
Look, why is there no doubt in your mind that Cochran is the right manager?
It goes back to what Stephen was just saying. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was one of the episodes when you went here, Lamsie, we said that on a shoestring budget, as we said, one of the lowest, if not the lowest in the EFL, we've had pound for pound the best transfer window in the summer we've seen in a while. Ryan Delaney's come in. He's been one of the standout players this season. Bryn Morris, I seen something the other day about when he signed for us, quite a few Grimsby fans who we play a weekend coming up was saying, thank God he's gone kind of thing. They weren't fans of him. Will Evans, do I need to say any more? I think he got, was it 3 goals in the league last season he scored?
Yeah.
He's scored upwards of 20. Only Dom Telford and John Aldridge have been able to do that for County.
Yeah. And this is a guy that is renowned to be a defender. And like in the defensive side of the game, he would have absolutely been destroyed by the 4-0 yesterday.
And it's the culture as well that he has helped create, just that closeness. He always says it's a really good group of lads in the changing room, and I think you can kind of see that, the closeness between players, so even players and fans that might not have been there under previous management.
We'll have to part this one until the end of season review, but I just want to throw it in just as a thought that we know, and again we spoke before we did the show today about Hugh Jenkins saying in his pre taking on the club that he wants Newport County to play a certain way, and obviously he's going to need the manager to play that way as well. But isn't Graham Cochran playing Newport County the Newport County way, the fight to the end sort of spirit? Take out the injuries at the moment, but when you've got the right team on the pitch, the right players in the right positions, they are playing Newport County style football, aren't they?
Yeah, and I mean, like yesterday, there were times where they did put some really nice moves together. You can see the potential in this team. The sad thing about it is he can't get a full strength side out. He's always dealing with some injury. Most of them have been at the back, really. So, just what he's doing is incredible, and I just think he is the man for the job. There's no doubt about it.
Obviously, we don't know what's in Hugh Jenkins' mind, and again, we need to probably talk about this at the end of the season. But I would be minded to say, right, we need to give this guy another season and back him to the hilt, and let's see what we got. Let him loose.
Well, in the time of his time last season, we would have finished 9th. And that's a season where we started off, we couldn't buy a win at home. Half the squad left in January, and he had to sign 3 or 4 new players. I think there were 1 or 2 injuries as well that season. And when he came in, confidence looked low, belief looked low, and like I say, 9th. And we're looking on course to beat the points record from last season and probably finish a little bit higher than we did last season. Hopefully a top half finish. If we get a top half finish this season, I think it'll be a miracle compared to our expectations at the start of the season.
Yeah, it's and it's. I get what you're saying as well. The fact that some of the players have played most games this season as well, and again, that he came in, and one of the things I identified that was wrong was the mental fitness as well as the physical fitness of the team. And there, you're at bare bones, really, aren't you? In every way, in every department, we're at absolute bare bones. So brings me on to the point that you said earlier that we seem to be failing in the final third. So is that, in your assessment of it, is that a kind of a physical issue or a mental issue or both?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a combination of the two. I mean, yesterday was bad, but I mean, it hasn't been all bad. I mean, the recent run's not great, I suppose. 2 wins and three defeats out of the last 5, so we're still picking up the odd win here and there. We've got 2 wins out of the last 5 home and away, so that's kind of more or less half. You're winning half of the games, especially to get wins away is no mean feat. So it could be. I mean, you take Will Evans, he has played almost every game this season.
Bryn Morris, I think, has played every game.
Yeah,
Benno's probably played most, if not all games.
I think Benno missed 1, didn't he?
Potentially.
I
think Ryan Delaney played all the games before he got into. Shane McLaughlin has played most of the games this season.
So there probably is a little bit of fatigue, but thankfully the forward line is getting replenished at the moment. So it's the only area of the pitch that is, but
absolutely. So let's just pick one couple of thoughts before we look at the injury list and before we go to the absolutely county man of the match. The conversation that popped up on social media yesterday was, in the last 15 minutes we're down to 10 men.
Yes.
How?
Because he'd used up all of his substitutions. Obviously, the new ruling as of last season was you're allowed 5 substitutes, but over 3 substitution windows, half-time doesn't count to those 3 windows. So in the first half, we brought Harrison Bright on in the 40th minute for an injured Scott Bennett. Then he brought on Lewis Payne for Matty Bonswell. Lewis Payne had to go off 15 minutes after, again for a pulled hamstring, and then he made a double substitution, changing his front 2 of his front 3, Zanzara and Palmer Holden, for Luke Jeffcott and a returning Omar Bogle. So as I've obviously just read out, he'd used his 3 substitution windows up, so he didn't have room to use that final 5th substitution to replace the injured Lewis Payne, so he had to come on and go back off.
Yeah.
Even if he did, I'd still see us finishing the game with 10 men, as he said then. Aaron Wildig also pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
So even if we did have that 5th substitute available to us, and we did utilise that with bringing off Lewis Payne, for who you bring on, I don't know, because the only other people on the pitch are Kiban Wright or James Waiters on the bench in terms of outfield players, which obviously would change the formation anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Dire.
Yeah. Okay. Before we have some good news, let's go through bad news. Stephen, hopefully in front you've got the injury list there. Can you just take us through it?
Yeah, so at the moment we're missing Ryan Delaney, Scott Bennett potentially, Adam Lewis, Josh Seabury, Shane McLaughlin, James Clark, Declan Drysdale, Aaron Wildig and Lewis Payne. So
big names,
big names, which
of
is
course club captain as well.
Something,
and vice captain. Club.
Yeah.
Just quickly, when Bennett went off the pitch yesterday, Stephen. Who took the captain's armband? Because we couldn't really see from where I was positioned.
I don't know.
Did Bennett take the armband off with him and forget to give it to someone else?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know who took it, to be honest. Yeah,
because we were looking around. And
I was too much in a flap trying to do a commentary, to be honest, to notice those kind of things. Even though that's not what I was there to do.
Right, no,
but
there was a lot on. I would say it was Spitty the dog.
I didn't have a Chris Chapper with me, so I don't know.
Spitty the dog was club captain for a bit there. Okay, Luke, take me through the Absolutely County man of the match.
Well, this was as on Absolute County on Twitter, as I posted yesterday, saying this is probably the hardest one to pick. Yeah, not because they were all brilliant, because we got thrashed 4-0 and no one really covered themselves in glory. But a couple of players who I thought decent games. Harry Charsley in midfield, Matty Baker and Seb Palmer Holden before he came off. Stephen, you were there yesterday, as you just said, flapping doing a commentary.
Yep.
When you were doing that commentary, who stood out for you yesterday on that pitch, if anyone? Obviously comment below so you can obviously have a difference of opinion.
Who stood out? Not many, to be honest. So I'm probably just going to play safe and say, I think I'll go with Seb Palmer Holden, maybe.
Okay, 15.8% of people agree with you, but 57.9% of people disagree with you.
That's not first time.
And 57.9% of the people out there voted for Harry Charsley as the official man of the match.
Yeah.
Okay. You might have noticed, Luke, that Stephen's actually wearing an armband tonight. I don't know where he's picked that up from, but there you go. Stephen, what's on next?
Yeah, so I'd like to look at why are we conceding from set pieces?
Okay, makes sense. If you're employed by Newport City Homes, you have access to financial services which can help manage money and expenses for the coming year. Newport Credit Union can offer savings and loans paid directly from your salary. For more information, search Newport Credit Union.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
So for my talking point on this episode, I'm going to ask, why can't we defend set pieces? So before we talk about it, let's hear the thoughts of Newport County manager Graham Coughlin.
It was a day where whatever could go wrong did go wrong. An early goal, injuries. How do you legislate for so much going against you?
Well, we've been used to that. And this football club is used to that. So that's not a one-off. That happens to us. But we've got to be better. You can't concede goals. Yes, you can make excuses. Yes, you can say I'm missing a number of players. I'm missing leaders. I'm missing generals. I'm missing my mainstay, my defenders. You can't concede goals like we're conceding. You can't concede set-piece goals like we're conceding. So obviously there's a fundamental problem there somewhere. I can't go out on the pitch and defend set pieces for them. They have to step up and do it themselves. But there's a problem there. There's a weakness there at set pieces. Look, I'm not daft. I've been in the game long enough. I can see what I'm seeing on the pitch. I can see what I'm seeing in players' eyes. I just can't do anything about it at this moment in time. I don't know where to turn to be quite honest with you. We've got picked up another 3 hamstring injuries today. Why we're having so many injuries, it's got to be looked at again. Our physio room, there's more players in our physio room than there is on the pitch. That's got to be looked at. So all in all, we just need to get to the end of the season and have an investigation, or have a real good hard look at why, where, when and how. At the end of the day, yes, our squad was never equipped, was never big enough, was never deep enough to have a challenge in the playoffs. That's probably one of the reasons why I batted the playoffs away so many times when asked the question. But I can't get away from the fact that this football club has come from being a relegation threatened club when I walked in the front door, and I stand here in front of you disappointed because we couldn't finish our season off and end up in the playoffs. Irrespective of my disappointment today and what's gone on, we've come a long, long way. I now need to look myself in the mirror. I now need to go home and sit in a dark room and have a couple of hours with myself and see where I'm going and what I'm doing and how can I push this on and how can I take it on. I've let a lot of people down. I wanted to make playoffs, and I failed. I wanted to make playoffs for the football club because the fans have been brilliant since I've come. The players have been brilliant, and they are a great group of lads. It is a great dressing room, and I just feel for them. I do feel for the players because they're running on fumes at this moment in time, and we can't turn to the bench, we can't turn to backup, we can't turn to the academy. We just can't turn. We just don't have the bodies to cope with the situation we're in.
Newport County manager Graham Cotland there. You know what we needed for about the last minute of that press conference when he was talking? You remember the music where they used to do the sad stories on Radio 1 or 2?
We have that on our system.
Romeo and Juliet.
We should have played that underneath it, I think. Because, Graham, I hope you've come out of the dark room, mate. Don't be too down on yourself. But, yeah. Anyway, back to the
it's
top.
Okay, he won't go in the dark room for bad reasons. He's got some photos he needs to develop.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a great joke from 1983. There you go.
Yeah, so obviously Graham spoke there about the side's inability to defend from set pieces. Conceded 2 yesterday. And yeah, just giving his comments, I'm just wondering, should we be worried? And as Graham spoke there, what can we do about it? So I'm going to turn to the fountain of all football knowledge, Luke Lewis.
No, hello. I thought you were going to Lamsie then.
Yeah, I just thought I'd trick you. See ya? So, Luke Lewis, why can't we defend set pieces? And then I'll come on to Mr. Lambsdale for the next question.
I think it's two things.
Mm-hmm.
I think lack of height.
Lack of height?
And B, lack of experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if you look at the back four yesterday, Matty Bonswell, the only player who I think is above, I'd say 6'2", maybe 6'3", is Carl Jameson. Matty Baker is, what's he, 5'9", 5'10"?
I don't know. I don't make a note of their height, to be honest.
Scott Bennett, I think, is about 5'7".
This is why we have a Luke Lewis.
Exactly.
He's there measuring them.
I just think...
No, he's looking on Sofa School, probably. Yeah, go on, keep going.
I just think, these players, you look at when, Ryan Delaney's there, you look at when we've got James Clark there, experience, I just think that back four, Matty Bonswell is unknown from Newcastle 21, 22, Matty Baker's the same from Stoke 2021, Carl Jameson, although he's been playing for a couple of weeks, he nearly spent 6 months out with injury. See, Scott Bennett went off early, a real leader. Howson Bright came on, 18, 19, spent the first half of the season on loan at Barry. You've got Lewis Payne, he's not the tallest player on the pitch, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got these players, and they're not... I think experience, as I say, comes into this. And plus their height as well. You think you've got... Let's go back to Aidan Flint when we played against Mansfield the other week. In League 2 you are going to come up against real physical sides that like to play with set pieces, the likes of Sutton, the likes of Harrogate and teams like that who will play for set pieces and have tall... look at Wales and Kiefer Moore, for example. We like to go to him from set pieces. So I just think it's lack of height, especially at the back, especially with these injuries, because like I say, if we had Carl Jameson, say Ryan Delaney in the back four, that's 2 6'3" centre backs, whereas now we're going to have Carl Jameson and Matty Baker if he's not injured between now and next game.
Interesting angle there, I like it. So, Mr. Lambsdale, what can Graham do about it?
Well, not a lot, because of the injury list. And the answer was in his reply, I think, because when he said, he rightly said that he's missing everything. He's missing his midfield general. He's missing everything's missing. His captain's missing. His vice captain's missing. These are people that can organise the House and Brights of the world, and you're missing that quality, but you're then missing that leadership as well. Don't ever dismiss leadership, because it's such an important thing in any area of life, especially on a football pitch, and it's just not there. So you're right to pick up on it, and it's a good talking point, but I think at the moment there's nothing anyone can do about this situation, which will probably lead nicely into Luke's talking point, if that helps.
Yep, brilliant. Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything you've said. Like I said, we're missing leaders like Delaney and Clark who organise the defence. The one thing I would add is it's a lack of concentration. They were not switched on at the beginning of the game yesterday, and they switched off towards the end of the game. So that's the only thing I can really add from what you've both said. I'll just ask another quick question. Do players need to stand up and be counted now? Luke?
What players?
Well, the ones that were available.
There's not
You can
many
say
of
no,
them.
you can say no.
I think so, but
Maybe Jameson was, he needs
Yeah.
to step up and start organising. He's the,
If you're Graham Cotter and you go in that dressing room now, you're going to say, listen, guys, we're in this situation, but step up. This is your opportunity to shine now. And again, we don't want to go into the Luke's talking point in a second, which I'm very close. I'm on the border here, so I'm going to stay this side of the border on it and just say, there's an opportunity in football here for one of these players to start to make its names for themselves, either for their Newport County season next season or for a potential loan move. This is an absolute golden opportunity for somebody.
Plus, you've got someone like Nick Townsend in goal, who is a bit of a. He can get. He does have his.
Can we wrap him up in cotton wool, please?
Yeah.
Can we please look after the Townsend?
Well, he did go.
He
Off.
did go down yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
For a bit? Yeah, I was a bit worried.
I was like,
He did go off a couple of games ago. It might have been. I can't remember what game it was.
Yeah, I think you went off half
Barrow.
time, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, Luke, what's next?
Coming up next, I'd like to ask the question: are we limping towards the end of the season?
If you're employed by a Newport University Health Board, you have access to financial services which can help manage money and expenses for the coming year. Newport Credit Union can offer savings and loans paid directly from your salary. For more information, search Newport Credit Union.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now. Newport City Radio.
After the not-so-good Friday for Newport County against Colchester United, boss Graham Cochran said, and I quote, "Don't limp over the line." Since then, we've lost 3 more players to injury. We lost 4-0 at Rodney Parade against Crawley. Before I ask the question to the guys in the studio, let's hear from the man himself.
You've lost 5 of your last 7 games. There are 5 games to go. Is the most frustrating thing for you now that this season is threatening to fizzle out when there has been so many high points this year?
Well, I hope there's enough about us not to let it fizzle out. We're running around there with 9 men. Obviously, Aaron Wildig's hamstring, and he had to stay on the pitch. He couldn't come off. We finished the game with 10 men. We had 3 hamstring injuries today. So, how do you replace them? How do you replace the lads that are injured? And we've got a number of young kids in and around us in the squad, and that Harrison Bright is being used obviously of late. And Matty Baker's a young kid, and Lewis Payne, Matty Bonswell. They're young kids, and I have to try and keep the criticism away from them. I have to try and keep any negativity away from them, which is why I offer myself up for anybody who wants to have a dig, anybody who wants to have a scrap or have a go at us. Please leave the players come to me and blame it on me, because them players have run through brick walls for this football club.
Yeah, like we've said, he sounded dejected, I think is the word I'm going to use all throughout that press conference. But I did hear that and thought, I'll ask the question. So I'll come to Stephen first. I'll return the favour. He's spoken about some of the young players and whatnot, as I've said. 5 out of the last 7 games we've lost. Lost 3 on the bounce now for the first time this season, as I think you alluded to earlier. We've got to be limping towards the end of the season, surely.
Well, I think given all the injuries, limping is the most appropriate word, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were looking at the form table, and we were like up the top of the form table, and we were getting really excited, and we were. But now, I mean, yeah, last 6 matches now, they're 17th in the form table. I mean, that's one heck of a drop. I mean, what were they, second?
Top, I think.
Top or second, given on the amount of games that you looked at. I mean, that's a heck of a drop off.
I think it was 3 defeats in 12, 2 defeats in 12, something along those
lines. I think it's 3 in 12, isn't it? Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've had a bit of an inconsistent run at home, and the last 6 is one loss, but we did that around about this time last year as well. So a bit of consistency there, maybe, and
consistency in not being.
And we've lost 4-0 on 2 consecutive Easter Mondays, so you can't say we're not consistent. Just thought I'd try and bring a bit of lightness to any Newport County fans that might be feeling bad about themselves. I mean, given the people that we've got left, I mean, it's going to be really difficult, and I don't necessarily agree with people saying the players are already on the beach. I think they're professionals, and they will, as we've spoken, they will fight right to the end. And we've got a couple of home games as well left, haven't we? So that should be good for the players.
The last 5.
And I just think they need the fans to get behind them. I noticed yesterday a lot of fans leaving early, which is never a good sign. I mean, all right, you can't blame them, but about credit to the ones that stayed there and applaud the team off the pitch, which Graham has kind of made a point of praising the fans for. So I just think we just got to try and do the best that we can, really, and just try and get to the end of the season, maybe pick up a couple of wins here and there, and see where we end up.
Where do they come from?
I was thinking more of the home games.
Okay.
Still,
same question. We lost 4-0 yesterday at Rodney Parade. Where does that win come from?
Well, we'll find out your score predictions in a couple of minutes,
Lamsie, question for you. We've spoken about a year or so ago, probably 2 years ago, about the ending of the 21-22 season under James Roby, where our form kind of same situation where we were pushing for the playoffs and we were nearly there, but we fell off right at the end, and then that kind of transpired, and when that form went into the season after, which obviously ultimately cost him his job, which we've kind of alluded to in terms of the financial report. Do you see the same happening here? I'm not saying obviously Graham it's the same fate for Graham, but we've lost 3 games in a row. First time obviously we've done that this season. 2 wins in. Hang on, my maths is gone.
Shall I jump in with the answer, because we are very quickly running out of time?
Go on.
I'll give you my view on it, at least anyway. Right, because I've got two aspects on this. To answer your question directly, yes, we're literally limping to the end of the season. As he said at the start, there's going to be players now that won't be back. That's the season done. And maybe that could be a blessing in disguise for next season. You get the players fixed, fighting, rested first, then fighting for the new season. So there's that. Is it the same as before? Potentially, because you still got the same old issues. So the things I've talked about before is what is going on in that physio department. So is there one?
Very busy at the moment.
Yeah. So, but what is happening? There's clearly a mistake being repeatedly made over and over and over again. And what it needs now is that the season needs to stop. So someone, and probably Hugh Jenkins and his team, go in there. So I've made a little list of things that I would probably kind of fix first, right? So first of all, making money. So the financial report's just come out. You need to make money because everything else falls apart quickly after that. With money, you can do amazing things. Without it, you can't. And that's the situation that we're in at the moment. That would then transcend through to the academy. We all know that needs improving, and that's going to be high up on the list as well. You need to settle out the ground as well, which I think is going to be a fairly simple thing.
Yeah, EFL have said that the new rules are you need at least a 10-year lease on your stadium.
I think it's high on the list, but it's not the top of the list. But then you need to work out, because then what you've got money that you can invest in players and more players in a bigger squad. You've then got the academy, so you've got more players that you've got. So when you're in this situation, you've got more people that you can call upon as well. And then you've got the right physios to hopefully stop them from getting into this situation. We can't be, we said right at the start of this season, or not right at the start, but a little into the season, how unlucky is it at Newport County to have this many injuries? Well, it's happening again, guys. Something is fundamentally wrong there. Or if it's not wrong, it needs addressing. Yeah. And I think it's going to happen, but it's too late for this season. Yeah, we're limping on. But within that, there's still hope, and there's still games, and there's home games. So, yeah, let's have a little look at that.
Yeah, Lamsie, what are we got coming up next?
Exactly that. Let's look at the next few games as Newport County continue on to this season.
If you're employed by Newport City Council, you have access to financial services which may help manage money and expenses for the coming year. Newport Credit Union can offer savings and loans paid directly from your salary. For more information, search online for Newport Credit Union.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
Okay, so let's take a look at it then. Away to Grimsby on Saturday, the 6th of April. Luke, I'm coming to you. What's your score prediction?
We just spoken about Newport County limping and not being in the best of form. Why not? 1-0 win.
To County?
Why not?
Why not? Why not indeed?
I'm going to go for a repeat of the score at Ronnie Parade. I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, yes, draw for you. That's, I think we'll take that at the moment, won't we? Then we're 2 home matches on the trot, so we're not going to be here after the first home match. We'll be back with you after the second one. Firstly, Accrington on Tuesday, the 9th of April.
Who are they?
My mate, who are they? My mate Chloe's birthday, so I'll chuck that in there as well. Luke, what's your score prediction for Accrington?
We'll go for another 1-0.
Okay, another 1-0. Okay, Stephen, what are you thinking?
2-1. 2-1.
Okay, then finally, Tranmere on Saturday, the 13th of April. Luke.
The reverse fixture of the game that the three of us went to see earlier.
Yes.
This season.
Hopefully it's going to be slightly warmer.
Yeah, and hopefully me and you will be slightly happier.
Yeah, and I won't lose the car in Newport. Hopefully I'll stay Tranmere.
Yeah.
Tranmere have only won 4 games away from home all season, so that should be good reading for Newport County, so I'm going to say 2-1.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, Stephen, what do you think?
2-0 Newport. Sorry, Prosy.
Okay, here you go. Is the great man coming down for it?
I don't think so.
It's on to her.
All right, we should extend the invite anyway. There you go. Anyway, thank you for taking time out to listen today. As always, we'd love to read your thoughts about our thoughts on Facebook, X and Instagram, and you can direct message us. We're also on email, contact@newportcityradio.org. We will catch you on Sunday, the 14th of April at 2 p.m. as we continue to look back in amber at the 23-24 season. More talking points, more banter, and more top-class analysis.
Right here, right now.
Newport City Radio.